What's up, everybody? This is the Uncanny Omar.
And Astonishing Melanie.
And together we're going to be talking about some Yen Press manga.
So please stay tuned.
And welcome back, everybody. Before getting started, a huge thank you to the folks at Yen Press for sending us copies of these particular manga. So I'll go ahead and kick it off with Love and Heart. So here we have Love and Heart. This one retails for $13. It is rated teen. But honestly, I don't think there's anything in this one that I wouldn't have a problem with my 11, soon to be 12, that's crazy, year old reading about. There is one thing I will say that this has, and people may have issues with that, and I completely respect that, and I'll talk about what that is exactly. So this is the story of this young lady here named Yo Yagisawa. And she just recently broke up with her boyfriend. She's 18 years old, and she's in college. So when she returns back home one day, she meets this guy right here, who immediately recognizes her. And he welcomes her back to her own house and calls her by her name and calls her Yo-chan. So who is this guy? Well, this is Haruma Hirose. And Haruma Hirose has been living in Seattle, which is where her mom is working now. And pretty much it's the story of how they were once childhood friends. She kind of remembers a little bit of it. It comes and goes. And for some reason, her mom said it was okay for him to live in their house because he's studying abroad. Because remember, he's living in Seattle. It was really strange. He's living in Seattle, and the mom is okay with him going back and living with her daughter who just went to college. Whatever. That works. You know, she's crushing on him. She thinks he's really handsome. Now, there's a whole mystery here because she vaguely remembers him and then doesn't really remember the house that he grew up in. So he was a neighbor. And what she does remember later on is that there was a... how do I say this? And this is, I think, where some readers may have issues with, and that is that the house is where some people committed suicide in. So is he a ghost? Is he trying to harm her? Is he there to help her? I found this pretty interesting. It's a really quick read, but I really liked it. I really liked the chemistry between both of the main characters. And that he's there to protect her at first, but like I said, it may not be what you think it is. But I really enjoyed this story. This is what the artwork looks like. This is done by Chitose Kaido. That's the mangaka's name. And in the back, you have a bonus story, which doesn't really spoil anything, but also the translation notes.
Volume 2 of Eniale Dewiela. I immediately picked this up and read through it. I love the first one. I did a review in December. I'm so happy to see this. So let's crack this baby open. We've got the nice kind of wallpaper, making a fancy look right here. Unfortunately, no color pictures. Eniale, the angel, and Dewiela, the demon, are frenemies of sorts, right? They're always at each other's throats. And they're both in search of human souls. And in chapter 5, we see a young girl is possessed by gods who try to stop them from taking the souls. They're like, you need to leave the souls alone. Each god that possesses her, they belong to us. Quit messing with them. So, I hope you can see just from this first chapter, it's a great balance of being silly, and also with gorgeous artwork. Let's see. That's nice. This is nice. Yeah, look at that. Here's what I'm talking about, Heaven's Wrath and all the details in this picture. The author usually includes some kind of spread like that at the end of each chapter. Chapters 6 and 7 tell the story of a priest who fell in love with a woman who died in sin, so he wants to sell his soul to the devil in order to go to hell to be with her. I love that. And again, terrific artwork and goofy. The priest has a bazooka to deal with demons. Chapter 8 is a tearjerker that involves an old lady and her cat, and Dewiela, the demon, questioning her mission. Oh, look at this pretty picture. I just love all the fashion designs. I could never come up with something like this. all the wonderful fashions for the angel demon, and that is something very important to them. In fact, in chapter 9, it's all about the fact that the angel, she borrowed an earring from the demon and lost it. So they go through this whole mission of kind of basically recruiting angels from heaven and uses angel music to explore the oceans to try to find this earring. That's cool. Now, in terms of who I like better, of course, the demon, Dewiela. I like her. She's cool. Say, oh man, look at that. And that's the end. Got all the characters on the back.
Goblin Slayer, Side Story 2, Dai Katana Volume 1. Boy, that is a mouthful. Alright, I'm not gonna lie. This is one that I had to read twice because I'm not familiar with Goblin Slayer. I know, people love it. I get it. But I haven't read the original series. And this is a gaiden. So it's a side story of the Goblin Slayer story. So I'm not sure where this fits in. It looks like it fits before the main story of Goblin Slayer. So the story's pretty simple. And I know I had to read it twice because I was a little confused at first. So it starts off with these 6 heroes. It's this very Dungeons and Dragons type of story. And they're going into the Dead Dungeon. And I'm not going to spoil much, but let's just say they get their asses handed to them. So much so that you're like, well, are these guys dead or what's going on? And then you get a flashback, I assume it's a flashback is the way that this story is written, of the main characters recruiting other characters. So it starts off with 3 new characters, the same characters that we saw at the beginning of the story here. So it's these 3 right here, walking into a town and trying to recruit other characters for their journey to this Dungeon of the Dead that they've heard so much about. So that's what this mainly is. It's the 3 characters. 2 of them are cousins, and they're going around and recruiting other characters. So I was a little confused because of the way they introduce themselves. They don't really have names. One of them is known as Captain. But when this lady here shows up, this is pretty interesting because she introduces herself with her number ID and not a name. So I thought that was interesting. So I don't know if this is kind of like, what is that series called? Dot hack sign. But if it takes place in the real world, or are they playing Dungeons and Dragons? So I guess it would have helped for once to read Demon Slayer, but I fell in love with the artwork though. This is my type of artwork, and there's a lot of brutality in here, a lot of violence, which I love. This one is interesting because it's rated mature, and I didn't see anything in here. I mean, I guess maybe later volumes will have some heavy subject matter. I'm not sure, but the artwork in here, I mean, for the most part, is pretty tame, other than the violence. In the back here, there's a prose. Yeah, this right here. It's just a couple pages. But this back here, since it's a prose, does read from left to right.
As you're taking a gander at these spines and analyzing, don't forget to hit the like button, please. Subscribe. Consider supporting us on Patreon and Spreadshop. Volume 1 of Adachi and Shimamura. Yay! We starting out with color. No more color. This is a story of the high school students that are named in the title, who stumble upon each other while cutting class. It's told mostly from It's told mostly from Adachi's point of view. With Shimamura, sometimes we get a peek into her internal monologue. Shimamura has a dream where she kissed Adachi. She gets jealous whenever Adachi gives her attention to other people. It's really innocent. Like this part where she grabs her hand to hold it. And Adachi's a little clueless. However, we do see that she thinks it's a lot of hard work to get close to people. So she's probably just kind of like going with the flow without thinking about it. I mean, look at that. We can all relate to you blew it, stupid. Me every day. In fact, making this video right now. A little girl appears, declaring it's her destiny to meet with Adachi So that proves to be a problem with Shimamura because she's vying for her attention. She doesn't want her tagging along on their date, at least what to Shimamura is a date, right? This is a slice of life manga that I enjoyed because I could relive the way it feels when you develop a crush, and it's really cute characters.
Last, but certainly not least, is Do You Like Nerdy Nurse? Now, this one's a little bit bigger than the other manga tankobons. So it's taller and longer. So it's as tall as this one here, but it's just a little bit thicker. This one retails for $20. Now, not gonna lie, out of the 3 that I had to read, this one was the one that got me. I really like this one. So it all takes place in this middle school. It's called the Mitsugi Middle School. And we meet this character of the nurse. She's the nurse that takes care of the students. And her name is Momoyama, or as everybody calls her, Momoyama Sensei. And here's Kurita, who figures out that she's not your average teacher or average nurse. She's actually kind of a dork. Like, she is a huge geek. She's into capsule toys. She's into manga. She's into anime. She's into video games. And it was a little bit of a slow burn, her trying to admit that she is. And he's trying to get her to admit, because he himself doesn't have a lot of friends. And he sees this friendship with her. Of course, he's totally crushing, because, come on, let's face it. Who doesn't like a nerdy nurse, right? I mean, this is what the artwork looks like. This particular book is oversized, though, not just in length and height, but also in the page count. This one has 320 pages. So they do become friends, and you can find out exactly what ends up happening with their friendship. Nothing weird, nothing creepy, I promise. I happen to like this one a lot. I thought that this was really cute. And I think everybody could use a friend like her when they're in school. You know, it's that awkward age of being in middle school and not thinking that everybody's into the same things you're into, so it would have been cool to see somebody, you know, super cute that's into the same dorky things you're into. But I love, like, how she tries to play it off like, oh yes, I don't know what the... Whoa! My goodness. That was a bonus. Anyway, where was I? Keep it together. Oh yes. Yes, I really enjoyed this one. This was my favorite read out of the 3. And it's all in one. This is everything that's in the book. This is the complete story. Apparently, it was originally released as a web series and then collected in 2 different tankobons. But Yen Press decided to release it as an all-in-one. In the back, there's some bonus stories back here. Yowza, and then an afterword. Oh yeah, and they also have like cafe little things, but like trivia about some of the Japanese cafes that they have, and then of course the translation notes. But that, as they say, is that.
If you're interested in any of these books, please check out our sponsor.
CheapGraphicNovels.com, your online source for collected editions up to 50% off retail price. Cheap Graphic Novels prides itself on excellent packaging, so your stuff gets to you in excellent condition, and they have amazing customer service. Check out their bargain deals for up to 90% off cover price. And for all you Minties that are watching, if you're a first-time customer, don't forget to mention that Near Mint Condition sent you their way for a promotional credit on free shipping on your next order. Now, this is only for U.S. customers. CheapGraphicNovels.com, your source for the hottest books with deep discounts, customer service, and excellent shipping that will keep you coming back for more. And that was the content of each of these books. Let us know in the comments down below which ones you're picking up. And if you have any more questions, don't forget to ask them down below. Got anything else, honey?
Thank you so much for watching. Please hit like, sub, ring, you know the drill. And as always, stay minty.